Hi, my name is Charles Kline, director of the animated short film Nursery Crimes Part One, The Ominous Overture. My interest in horror began in the early 1980s when I was a kid, and I watched a lot of monster films and stuff like that on cable television. And believe it or not, some of my earliest cinematic experiences are rooted in horror. When I was 6 years old, I saw Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D and Creep Show, at least part of it, until my grandmother pulled me out of the theater because I was much too scared and kept putting my hands up over my eyes. Although my original interest in film was actually geared more towards creating special makeup or monster effects based on a lot of the movies that I saw in the 80s, and reading stuff about makeup effects artists like Dick Smith and Tom Savini. It wasn't until I was in college where I got a chance to create a short film based on a script I wrote for a class in the span of a month about the day in the life of a werewolf. Didn't plan on it, just kind of happened. Got some friends together, shot it over a weekend, won a student award, and even got into a few festivals. And let's just say that that's how the filmmaking bug actually bit me. I actually came up with the idea of wanting to take classic English nursery rhymes and just put my own dark spin on them after reading a number of illustrated books by Edward Gorey and discovering the work of um, macabre New Yorker cartoonist uh, Charles Addams, creator of the Addams Family, and of course being a Tim Burton fan and whatnot. Um, I actually wrote 20 or rewrote 20 rhymes with a very dark bent and illustrated them and compiled them into a book that I finished in 2018. Tried to find an animator at some film festivals and conventions I had gone to, but with no success. And then over the pandemic, I decided to animate the book myself. One of the most difficult things for me in my experience in filmmaking, because my first three films I had to make in a very short period of time. The first one for class, um, the next two for contests. We're just trying to get something done in a very short period of time, trying to get a cast and crew together and, just get through the shots, get something done that was quality, and try and get it out there, right? Um, but on the flip side of that, the most rewarding is actually getting to travel, go to amazing film festivals or, conventions and seeing your film screened in front of a live audience. Can't beat that. As far as which horror films are my current favorites, believe it or not, I don't watch too many horror films these days. I tend to gravitate more towards television series that are horror themed. Um, but I will say that the Conjuring films are probably my favorite.